So we are live. Woo! Super excited. So, for anybody who is catching this in the Facebook groups, if you want to go ahead and give StreamYard permission to show your name, I'd love to be able to address you by your name instead of just Facebook user. Um, and yeah, so super excited for today. Anybody who's catching this on the replay, if you were gonna plan on joining in on Thursday at 1 p.m. I do apologize. My core coaching group ran over by about an hour, which has never happened before. So I do apologize. So thinking about mindset and I and how it can really impact your business, right? So we're going to go on the preface of mindset is your frame of mind, right? Which makes sense because it's mindset. Your attitude, right? Hey, Katie, thanks for joining. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining. Um, and your disposition. So your frame of mind, your attitude, your disposition, right? That's your mindset. And your mindset is developed through um, growing up, right? So influence through what part of the world you grew up in, influence through your culture, your ethnicity, your family culture, all that stuff. So I want to share with you a really cool framework today on mindset, and it's right from the floor of a volleyball court. So it's a personal story tied into how it relates to online business and why having a coach in your online business, coaches, whichever you choose, as long as your coaches do not conflict with each other, right? So as long as their coaching aligns with your business mission, right? Then it's not confusing. Um, so I'm gonna go back and forth between the volleyball court and an online business. All right. So um, the volleyball court comes to you because my son this year decided that he wanted to play volleyball. So of course he signs up. It's right through his school. He's in seventh grade. Um, so that he's 12. So never played the sport before. He's played baseball. He loves basketball. Um, but never played volleyball before. So he does have a natural ability with athleticism, right? He is generally pretty good, right? Um, but most of all, he loves it. So signs up for volleyball. The first time he played volleyball was like an exhibition. So it gave the coaches a time to kind of look at all the players, right, and decide which teams they were going to be on, varsity or junior varsity. So relating that to you starting your business would be you looking at the program that you may think about possibly joining, right? What type of content are people putting out? How long has the program been around? Um, what kinds of things are people achieving with it, right? So volleyball exhibition to online business, right? So in online business, you decide the product you want to go with, for based on the coaches, based on the product, based on the features basically of what they offer. So going back to volleyball, he plays really well at the exhibition, but the coaches decide to keep him on the backup team, right? And not put him on the varsity team. Probably because it was his first year. I'm not really sure why. But either way, he's getting to play volleyball. So he was actually really frustrated about it and thought that he should have been on the other team because he is really good and, was kind of salty about it, right? So they played a few games. So this is similar to you starting an online business, right? You're probably not salty about it, but turn salty into frustration. So you're watching the videos, you're reading Google Docs, like you're watching people as they're smashing out sales, as they're, growing their groups, as they're, growing their engagement, like all this stuff, right? So you find yourself getting frustrated. You're not performing at a level that you think you should be performing at, right? So that's how that relates to volleyball. So every game, he's still my son. So we're going back to volleyball. He's still a little bit upset that he's not on the varsity team. And I said to him, you have one or two choices. You can continue to be very upset about it. You can continue to complain about it, or you can do what a lot of people do when they play sports is you can choose to be, no one's assigning it to you, but you can choose and assume the role of, hi, Dr. Tachi, thanks for joining. Um, I said to my son, you can assume the role of a captain on your team, and you can, hi Arthur, thanks for joining. Good morning to you, good afternoon to me. um, I said to him, you can assume that role, you can put on the captain hat, you can, help your other teammates out, you can point out to them what you think that they should be doing, where they should be standing, how to set up the volleys and all this stuff, right? And so he thought about it, and he has a very natural way of being a very good leader, even though he's only 12. Um, Kids his age and adults actually, ironically enough, like really look up to him just because of how he composes himself. So there, the tie into that in online businesses, when you're starting your online business, right? Once you get past that frustration stage of maybe even just being overwhelmed, right? You're learning so much, there's so much information, you're like, oh my god, like how can I possibly consume all this stuff, right? So just like volleyball, you take it one game at a time. Don't go and blast out 16 hours worth of videos, right? Take it 35 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, right? Consume the stuff, and then go and practice and put into play what you're learning in your online business, right? Similar to being on the volleyball court. You go to practice, you learn techniques, you hone in your techniques, you bring them to the game, and you play better. You play better as an individual, you play better as a team, right? So my son being captain, adopted captain status essentially of his peers and stuff, every game they started to perform better. Now, he's not the type of athlete that goes boasting when he does well. Like, he has really great sportsmanship, right? So when you're looking for online coaches and you're building an online business, you want a coach that is creating content, right? That is putting the spotlight on people and what they're doing and how they're using the information. They're following the tools, they're following the techniques, they're putting them into play, they're showing up, right? And they're succeeding. It's not all about it's not all about the end thing, right? But your coaches should be showcasing, like, yay, look at Annette, she did this. Look at Katie, she did this. Look at Colleen, she did this, right? Look at Joe, he did this. You want coaches that are going to be your cheerleaders in the public as well as in private, back in your private coaching groups, right? Whether it's a coaching chat or coaching Zoom call or whatever. So similar to my son's volleyball, right? So this is volleyball and online business and how they're intersecting, right? And so they play better each time, right? My son continues. I bought him a net. He plays out in the yard. He's practicing. He's practicing. He's practicing, and he's watching YouTube videos. He's watching the professionals. Like, he's practicing the techniques. Like, he's really into being the best that he can be, so that he can bring it back to his team and he can guide them and he can give them pointers on how they all can play together better as a team, right? So not only is this 12-year-old able to give each individual player on the team feedback, positions, strategies, all that stuff. Like, they're really coming together as a team. Now, this is just like what you're going to do in your online business, right? You're going to consume the material, you're going to pass it on to your audience, you're going to show up confidently that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, because you're doing what it is that you're talking about, right? So each and every time you create a piece of content, you get on and do a live training, you get in your group, you do a live training, you're going to be better and better each time. You're going to feel more and more confident. Just like I'm watching his teammates, he has a team of 8, right? Just like I'm watching all 8 of them every single game. They're showing up with confidence. They're getting on that court, right? The frustration is real. It's all about baby steps. Absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever you're learning anything new, or, things are not going as you planned for them to hit, and, people are just not picking up what you're laying down, so to speak, it definitely can be frustrating. But if you focus on the process and you focus on improving your individual techniques, then it's not going to be smooth, right? It's not a flat surface. It's not going to be smooth. It's kind of going to be like a river, right? A river that flows upstream. So you're going to have rocks, you're going to have bumpy water, you're going to have some rapids, right? And then you're going to have some smooth sailing. That's online business, right? You're not going to smash it out of the park every single day, just like, oh, thanks, Katie. Just like a major league player is not freaking hitting a home run every time they're at bat. They strike out too, right? So you're going back to the volleyball, going back to the online business. So this past Wednesday, they played a game, right? They all 6 players that were on the court. There was one substitute, right? Now, there's several players that have been improving every single time on their serve. They've been working on it. They've been working on their technique. They've been working on their power, right? That's going to be just like people that are in your community that are consuming your videos, right? They're going to be giving you feedback. You're going to, like great advice or great example, or that helped me realize something different. I hadn't thought about it in that way before, right? So you're going to keep showing up for your team, which is your audience. So Wednesday night's game, the energy that was on that court was unbelievable, right? So the first period, my son's team crushed it, right? They won the first period by many, many points, right? So they were, super excited. The other team came back fierce and strong, right? They and they wiped the floor with them the second period, right? They won by a lot of points. So that's very similar to how the ebbs and flows in your online business are going to go. You're going to have days. You may have a day where you close 3 high ticket sales, right? And you just made, I don't know, it depends on the product that you're promoting, right? You just, cleared, I don't know, maybe you just did $3,000 in sales. If you're at 50% commissions, you just put $1,500 in your pocket in one day, right? But you may not close another sale for 2 more weeks, right? 2 more days, 2 more hours. You don't know because you have no control over the outcome, right? Just like when you're playing a sports game, you have no control over who wins. All you can do is play your best. So as you're building your online business, you show up for yourself, you be the best for yourself. You show up, you consume the content, you work on creating better and better and better content each and every time you put content out, each and every time you show up and do a live, each and every time, right? Each and every time you create short form video, whatever, however it is that you're conducting your business, you show up better and better each time, right? So in volleyball, there's 2 periods. If there's a tie, they go into a third period. Whoever wins the third period wins the game. The other team is crushing my son's team. They're ahead like 7 points, I think, at one point. So the serve goes back to my son's team. The server gets up there and closes the gap, right? So now they're 9-13, and whoever gets to 15 first in the third period wins the game, right? The other team only needs 2 points to win. And no, they needed 3 points. So the serve goes back to the other team. They score a point, my son, and then my son's team gets the ball back, right? So my son gets up. He's the next server. They're behind 3 points. They need 5 points to win. So he, just like you're going to prepare, like if going live or creating a training video or creating a short form video on like any sort of the platforms is really like anxiety provoking for you, right? Your heart starts racing. You got all these beliefs coming in like, what if I sound stupid? What if I make a mistake? What if this, what if that, right? I mean, we can come up with 40 million things that could possibly go wrong, right? What if everything goes right? What if you deliver all the information you want to deliver? People learn something from it. People go back and watch it again. People say, hey, great job. Hey, that helped me. I just found a shift. I'm going to go apply that, right? What if all that happens? Who cares if you stumble across your words? Who cares if you have to pause? Who cares if you have to take a second to maybe look at your notes so that you stay on task, right? Who cares about all that? Nobody does. At the end of the day, nobody does. There's no such thing as perfect. There is a such thing as doing your best. Doing your best. Even if your best doesn't deliver the way you wanted it to deliver. Hi, Dan. Thanks for joining. Even if your best doesn't deliver the way that you wanted it, look at that. Why didn't it hit to your best? Why didn't it hit to your liking? Right? Did you were you tired? So were you not like excited about what you were sharing? Were you not like using different tonalities? Were you not using your hands like I tend to do? And I'm not Italian. Um, were you not using your humor, right? Were you not showing up as you? That's the bottom line. If you're not showing up as you, it's not. Hi, Jeanette. Thanks for joining. If you're not showing up as you, your content is not going to hit the way that you want it to hit, right? And showing up as you, it might be a little today, right? Maybe you're not feeling like, maybe you're not feeling 100%. I'm actually not feeling 100% today. I did something to my back, and sitting here, I'm in a significant amount of pain. But you know what? I'm forgetting all of that so I can deliver this to you guys today, because I think that this is a huge um, message to deliver. And I like how real life intersects with online life, and real life intersects with online business, because it all freaking makes sense. And everywhere I go, I look at it in a business lens. Right now, I'm not quite sure. Like, yeah, I see everything as content, right? I see everything and how I can apply it to my lives, how I can apply it to my written content, how I can apply it to my short form videos, right? How I can apply it to my conversations. So, getting back to volleyball and getting back to lessons from the volleyball court. Score is 10, no, 9 to 13. Sorry, 9 to 13. They're ahead by 4 points. The other team needs 2 points to win. So my son gets up to serve, and he gets up, he takes his time, he takes a few breaths, he lines himself upright on where, when he serves, if he's too far over to the right, his ball shoots off to the right and it shoots out of bounds, and the other team gets a point, right? So he goes up, steps up to the line. You never would have known that he wasn't confident, right? Well, he was feeling confident, but he felt the pressure. Steps up to the line, boom, serve, right into the pocket, point for them. So he closes in the points. So now they have 13 to 13, right? 2 points and either team wins this, right? His next serve, he can't lose, because he loses it to the other team and potentially loses the game. He takes his time, gets up to the line, hits the serve, goes over, right into the pocket, 14 to 13. He's one serve away, 1 point away from winning the game. Now, when you're building an online business, right, it's not like on the edge of your seat like that, right? Because tomorrow's another day, right? You're really actually not even competing with anybody, right? All you're doing is looking at your process, looking at your technique, looking at your strategy, honing in on that, and working towards improving that. Hate the word perfection, right? There's no such thing as perfect, right? In my opinion. Other people might disagree, but In my opinion, there's no such thing as perfect. And if you want to keep that word perfect or perfection in your vocabulary, I think it's a lot of false sense of pressure, and it's not helpful. Hi, Facebook user. Sorry your name's not coming up. So 13 to 13, right? So let's go back into the business world. You are having a great conversation with someone, right? Maybe you're using Messenger, probably using Facebook Organic for everyone here that's on Facebook, using Facebook Organic. For everyone on FUD, you're using your process, right? On how you're building an online business, how you're conversing people, how you're having conversations, how you're getting your product in front of them, right? So let's go back to online business. So you're up to the line, right? You've had a great conversation with someone. You've answered their questions. They like the way that you are responding. You're building some trust. They've consumed your content. They've gone over on TikTok. They've seen how long you've been doing this. They've seen how many videos, whatever social media platform you're using, right? If you're using Facebook Organic, they're going and they're checking your profile. They can't check your group unless they're part of your group, right? Maybe you've invited them to be part of your group. So they're in your group. They're consuming your guides. They're looking at your trainings. They're looking at all that stuff, right? They're looking at all your content. They're looking at people's comments. Like, they're consuming everything, right? So now you've had a great conversation. And you think like, all right, this is going pretty good. Like, all these touch points are things that are going to help this person in their business. I, as the person who's helping them, I have a clear understanding as to what their goal is. I have a clear understanding as what products I have to offer that are going to help them. And I know those products can help them because I'm using them myself, right? And I'm achieving success, whatever that success is, right, at the time. So you're feeling super pumped about this, right? Super pumped about this conversation, right? But you're still standing at the line, right? They haven't asked for the offer. They haven't asked for the sales link. They haven't asked for any of that stuff. They know the product. They know what it can do. They know what it's doing for you. They've seen the community results, right? So similar to the volleyball game, they know they can beat this other team through using solid techniques because they did it in the first period, right? So, but the whole game is on the line, right? In your online business, the whole game is up to you. You don't even have teammates, right? You may have like an accountability group. You may have coaches that you can talk to for support and stuff like that, right? But ultimately, it all falls on you and your technique, your strategy, right? So Monday night, my son gets up to the line. It's now 14 to 13. My son's team has 14. The other team has 13, right? 15, first to 15 wins in the third period of volleyball. I'm not sure if that's like all level wide, but the level of playing that my son does, it's they need to win the first to 15 wins in the third period, right? So he gets up to the line, takes his time, builds his confidence, takes a few breaths, walks up to the line, fixes his footing, watches the line in front of him so he doesn't go over, because that's an automatic point for the other team. He gets up, serves the ball, right? And it's going. It lands, I kid you not, it lands on the net and it rolls on the net. Now that ball can go either way. It could fall back on their side, which gives the other team a point, which locks them 14 to 14, right? Or it could fall on the other side and they could win the game. So that's where you're at after having amazing conversation, right? Switching back to online business now. So that's where you're at after having amazing conversation with this person, right? For however long, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, get in there quick, right? Don't waste everyone's time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste theirs. Get in and at it, right? when it gets to that point, right? I mean, obviously you want to build a relationship with them and stuff, and build some trust. But so the ball is on the net, and it tips over onto the other side, and it goes bloop, right to the floor. My son's team won the game. The crowd goes nuts. I go nuts. I'm jumping out of my seat, right? The team is going crazy. The coaches are going crazy, right? Because so just like your online business, from the time that you take out your payment and you spend money and you invest in yourself and you buy that product, just like the very first game that my son played for volleyball. They'd never played together. They were brand new players, right? They didn't have many techniques. They knew they needed to hit the ball over the net. It's about all they knew, right? So just like you buying your business, you take out your card, you make that payment, and then you're like standing right, like at the line, like am I going to get it over? Is this piece of content going to hit? Is it going to be something that's going to resonate with someone, right? Are people going to like it? Are they going to find it valuable, right? All those questions you ask yourself when you're building an online business, right? You already know that once you get to the point where you're in a conversation with someone and you know the direction that they want to take their business in, you already know if your product can help them or not, right? So if your product can't help them, that takes the pressure off. You're like, well, like what I have to offer, I don't think is really going to align with your business vision. But maybe you know someone else in the space that offers a different product. You can hand them off to them, right? So just like that very first volleyball game when they were meeting each other for the first time as a team and didn't have too many techniques, didn't have too many strategies, to this game, right? They've only been playing 3 weeks, I think. They play like 3 games a week, so they've played a lot of games, right? Um, the people that even the game before, the people that were not able to get that ball over the net were getting the ball over the net, right? So here's the biggest takeaway and the biggest lesson from this whole entire live on mindset. When my son started volleyball, he got put on the backup team. He wasn't happy about it. He could have continued to have a fixed mindset and been salty about it and complained and not played his best, right? And let himself down and let his team down. He chose not to. He chose to have a growth mindset. He chose to get on YouTube, watch professional players, get out in the yard, pick up that volleyball, play with his sister. Unfortunately, I can't play volleyball. The overhand thing messes up my neck. Um, he has chosen every single day to improve himself. So that's what you're going to do in an online business. You are going to show up for yourself every single day. You're going to do something, right? No, I take about 2.5, usually I take Fridays off. I'm not off today because we went a little bit too long on my coaching call yesterday and I couldn't do the lives. And I love doing these. Um, I love, love, love doing these. So I didn't want to miss it this week. I will be missing it next week as I will be on vacation. So I will not be available or around most of next week, which I'm excited about, but I'm going to come back even fiercer. You guys better watch it, right? I'm gonna have some good stuff for you. So looking forward to creating content. I'll be down in Florida. I'll be in the Boston area. I mean, I live in Massachusetts, but so Boston's no big deal, but I'll be in the Florida area. So the biggest lesson learned from my son's volleyball game is thank you. I'm looking forward to Florida. I'm going down to Miami, so hopefully there's no other storms coming. One for the state of Florida, and then two for my vacation. Um, so the biggest lesson I hope, and the biggest point that people take away from today is just because you start something and you're in the Miami area, awesome. That'd be funny if we ran across each other. Um, the biggest thing is, just because you start something and you don't know much about it doesn't mean that you can't very quickly start showing up as an authority in what it is that you're delivering to your audience. Now, an authority with what you're delivering does not mean you're going to represent yourself falsely. It doesn't mean that you're going to come in there and be like, oh, look at me, I'm so successful, la 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 la, I've been doing this for like 2 minutes, right? You're not going to coming off as an authority does not mean coming off arrogantly. It doesn't mean coming off speaking like you are someone who has been doing this for years, right? Always speak to, oh, thanks, Annette. Um, Actually, I think I'll be doing like my live on Tuesday. I just won't be doing my live on Thursday, actually, now that I think about it. Thanks for the fire, Arthur. Um, yeah, I'll be live on Tuesday. I won't be live on Thursday. So I'm just missing one day. Okay, I can live with that. For Florida, right? But I will be creating some awesome content and I will be posting the content. So super fun content. Might not be, I'm not a fan of creating short form videos that are all about business. I like people to see my my funny, quirky side, right? Um, so some of the content will be about that, right? Um, so biggest takeaway. I feel like I keep getting sidetracked. So biggest takeaway, as you are starting your online business, show up in the place that you are now. If you've only been doing it 3 weeks, share what you've learned. Be honest with the people, right? Be honest with the people. Be honest in your content, right? That will keep you genuine. That will build you in a authentic personal brand that builds trust when you're speaking to people very quickly, right? So for those of you who are not familiar with who I am, right? All right, never mind. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do that after. So going back to the lesson learned from the volleyball court to online business, right? Choose to have a growth mindset and you will progress, you will get better, and you will grow. Just like we saw my son and his team grow, right? His teammates look to him on that court for feedback, for cheering, for validation. And you know what? Not just because he's my son, he does a great job at highlighting his teammates more than he does highlighting his achievements, right? So, just like I talked about in the beginning, when you work with a coach, you want, in my opinion, you want to work with a coach that is highlighting the people they're working with, their successes, their achievements. And it's not all about the money, right? It's really actually not about the money. The end goal is the money. And if you don't focus on that, the money will come. So, biggest lesson learned, you can either show up as a captain for your team in an online business, your team is your business, or you can show up and be salty about not having success that day, right? Easy said, hard to do, right? That's why you want to work with good coaches. So let me finish today with, for those of you that are hanging out with me, for those of you who may not know me, right? Maybe you're new to the groups here in Facebook. Um, Maybe you're new to my account on FUD, and you don't know who I am, right? So I can speak as an authority on mindset because I have over 22 years of experience being a licensed independent therapist, right? So in real life, I sit with people and I help them achieve their goals, whether they're personal or professional. So in real life, I talk about mindset every single time I sit with someone. And I've been doing that for 22 years. So I've had my own business since 2006. So I know what it means to have a successful business. So that's my business background. No, I don't have employees. I am a one person show. I never wanted the hassle and the headache of learning state laws and unemployment, workman's comp, and all that stuff. I didn't want anything to do with any of that stuff. I wanted to just be a one-person show. I wanted to schedule appointments. I wanted to show up. I wanted to be me. I wanted to deliver my knowledge. I wanted to work with people how I wanted to work with people. And I wanted to get them success as fast as I could get them success. So I can speak with confidence when I talk about mindset stuff because I have a lot of experience, right? It doesn't mean I know everything about everything, but I pay attention. So I started my online business in marketing, high ticket affiliate marketing, May of 2021. So I'm new-ish, right? Not brand new, but I've been doing this for a long time. I've gone through many products, many courses, right? I've by all the books that people tell me, I've started doing it on Audible because I find when I want to learn something, I do much better when it's auditory versus reading it. I do not like to read anything that is going to require me. Hi, yeah. Thanks for joining. Um, I do not like to read and learn. I discovered that about myself. I didn't buy any books other than one, two, actually, two books. In the 8 years I went to college straight, I bought two books. Um, honest to God, I only bought two books. So that's why I'm super excited to do these lives, right? Twice a week, because I love the mindset. I love the business intersection of it. So, um, I love that, Den. Den, for everyone that can't see Den's message, he said he's an advocate for mindset, and he has found the right mindset, and he continues to work on improving it. So that's really all we can do, right? Is just to work to be a better version. Hi, Jean. Thanks for joining. Oh, thanks for the fire. I appreciate it. So I'm going live on, I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on FUD today. So, that's why you see me like switching back and forth. So, and again, mindset is your frame of mind, your attitude, your disposition, right? That's the fundamental for everything. Everything that you do is gonna drive how you respond in a situation, how you respond to people. Oh, awesome. I'm glad there's so many live streams. Thanks, Arthur, for popping over. I appreciate it. Arthur, actually, so for everyone here on FUD, I would encourage you and please request that you go over and check out FUD. I can drop the link in the group. You can follow me over there. And it's a really cool app. It's a creator app for a lot of different creators. Arthur and Thomas are the founders of the app, and super, super supportive guys, great community, super fun. It's a super fun app as well, and a wealth of knowledge. So um, I'll drop the link to my FUD so you guys can follow. It's free, it's free to join, and you can check out different people's lives and different people's streams and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a really great app. And now I completely forgot what I was talking about. So um, mindset, coaching. Okay, so I recently worked with someone one on one and in the online business space. They are hugely successful, right? Um, they were on the verge of completely walking away, and they're not even at their height of achievement yet. And when you work with someone, now again, I'm not saying I am the be all end all, the best at everything, right? I just know my skills. I know how well I work with people. I know what I'm able to do in a very fast amount of time when I work with someone. So we had two calls, and the suggestions that I made, the strategies that I suggested, the tools that I provided, this person used them and quickly saw things start to shift. And I'm happy to say that they didn't walk away from the business. So Now, does that mean we'll never have another call? Maybe, maybe not, right? I don't know what the future holds. But I hear so many people say, especially when they're looking for, well, even online business, right? I hear so many people say when they're working with a coach that the coach just doesn't seem to be listening to them. The coach is giving them advice or giving them tools that maybe they've already given them, or maybe they're not what they're asking for. Now, so there's two parts to that. Are you clearly communicating what you need, right? So I'm completely shifting gears right now. This is a really another important thing before I log off for the day. Um, I hear people saying, like, I just don't feel like my coach hears me, right? If you're building an online business and you are simply working on building your audience and working on achieving financial success, right? Because, I mean, why else would you be building a business, right? You want it to be financially lucrative. But when you start to work with people, when you start to have people in your audience and they're asking you for X and you deliver D time after time after time after time again, how long do you think that they're going to stay in your audience? Not long, because they're going to go find someone who's talking about X, right? So it is extremely important to find someone that, first of all, you jive with, right? You like what they have to say, you like their personality, especially when it's mindset stuff, but mindset and business coaching, um, I think it's even more important, right? Because if you quickly come to not like the person that you're working with, how successful do you think you're going to be, right? You're not. You're going to walk away, you're going to be super frustrated, right? Because you're not going to listen to anything that they say. So, what I do when I work with someone when they're building an online business and they've either just started, so they're in the burnout phase, they're in the frustration phase, they're in the overwhelm phase, right? I very quickly get in there and help them with tools and strategies that are going to get them unstuck from that first buyer's remorse, all that stuff, right? All the things that happen. Say you've been doing an online business for 6 months, right? And you're you're achieving consistent success, your community is growing, people are really liking, you're getting really great feedback, like the income is happening regularly, right? And then something happens, and oh, thanks for the fire, Molly. Then something happens and you sit back and you feel like you just got run over by a high-speed train and it's stalled on top of you, and you just simply cannot figure out what the hell is going on, right? Again, because of all the time I have for experience, I get in there, we figure out what your blocks are, I give you the tools, I give you the strategies, we get you unblocked, and we get you moving again, right? That doesn't mean that it happens one time. It means the tools, the strategies, the techniques that are going to work for you, not cookie cutter ones. They're going to work for you. If you keep using those will get you through to the next mindset stump, right? Oh no, you lost sound on your phone. Yeah, definitely catch the replay. It'll be homed right in here in the Facebook groups. Definitely. Um, so until you get to the next mindset, frozen mud puddle, right? So depending, it doesn't really matter what level you are in your business. You're welcome, Katie. Um, it doesn't really matter what level you are in your business. Working with someone who has the experience and has the skill set to be able to go like this to your business, grab it with both hands and shred it apart and look at all the levels, right? Look at what you've done. So now say that you've been doing this for a year. You've been doing this for 2 years. You've been doing this for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, right? The years doesn't really matter. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like your feet are frozen. You're no longer growing, but you want to grow, right? Having an outside person come in and analyze what it is that you're doing, someone who is skilled in business development and also someone who's skilled in the mindset piece, you're going to get a 2-for-1. So that's why I'm super excited to be here. Super excited to do these lives. Super excited to cover these topics. And super excited. I love it. My goal is to get everybody who comes into my ecosystem, is to get everybody the tools, strategies, tips, techniques that are going to help them achieve their ultimate goals while they focus on their process. They hone their process, they develop their process, they grow in their process, and they continue to work towards achieving that first goal, the second goal, the third goal, the 12th goal, the 20th goal, right? Continue to achieve those goals. I set a goal for myself, and I'm showing up every single day to make that goal happen. So for anybody, now I'll pitch, right? So for anybody who thinks that they could benefit from more than the lives that I do every week, if you want to work with me, I have a group. It's already kicked off, but it is an open group. You can join at any time. You have access to the content, you have access to the meetings, you have access to the material, you have access to the supporting documents, you have access to all that stuff that I've done, right? So it is an ongoing group. If anybody feels as though they could benefit from working with me on a higher level, right? Reach out to me, let me know. I'll shoot you over the information about it. You can decide. If not, keep showing up to the lives. Let's have some fun. Ask your questions, right? Either way, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I am going to keep bringing as much value as I think I can bring, as I know I can bring. If there's anybody who is stuck with something, if you want to post it, if you're here on Facebook, if you're in my group, or if you're in the other group, or if you're on my profile watching this, wherever you're watching this on Facebook, if you have a question, post it in the groups. I will answer it. Send me a direct message. I will answer it. If you're catching this on FUD, thank you everyone who has hung out with me today on all the platforms. I totally appreciate it. If you have a question, ask it. That's the only way that I can get you the information and get you the answer, right? So if it's something you want me to cover, if it's something you want me to go a little bit deeper in on a training, I'd be more than happy to do that too. Oh, all right. Thanks, Roy. Thanks for Rory. Sorry. Your name, it clashed with my yellow, so it looked like Roy until I got up a little bit closer. So yes. So that's all for today. I hope everyone appreciated and was able to see the intersection with the wisdom from the volleyball court to building an online business. In my mind, it went really well. So dealing with distractions and procrastination. Oh, Rory, absolutely. So for everyone here on Facebook, Rory had asked, how do you deal with distractions and how do you deal with procrastination? Okay, so distractions first and foremost is the easiest one, right? So if your distractions are the ping 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 on your phone, right, that adrenaline, right, the adrenaline that you get so excited for, turn your phone on silent, right? If seeing your phone light up gets that your inner vibrations going, right, turn it over. Rory, I'm not sure if you caught any of my lives before, right? Dopamine. Yes, that's what it is. I'm not a huge fan of using technical terms. So sometimes I forget what those technical terms are. Yes, the dopamine. So you're getting a dopamine rush, right? So Whatever is giving you that dopamine rush can be a distraction, right? So distraction is the easiest one to tackle. So for people that have joined my lives in the past, I am a fan of setting aside. I just used 2 hours just because it breaks down into 8 15-minute segments. It just works nice mathematically. Get a paper plate, cut it into 8 segments, with markers or whatever. Get a piece of paper, create a rectangle, however you need to do it visually. Break 2 hours down into 8 15-minute segments. Write down what it is that you need to do every single day in your online business in one of those sections. If you find something takes you longer than 15 minutes, maybe it's closer to 30, then designate two of the, not no more than two for one task, right? Designate two of those sections to one topic, right? Once you're done, set a timer. Once you're done, right? Then I want you to take a break. 5-minute break. I don't care if you stand up. I don't care if you do a plank for a minute. I don't care if you do sit-ups. I don't care if you lay on the floor. I don't care if you walk to get something to drink. Like, give yourself a few minutes of a break, right? Walk away from it. Do not pick up your phone either. Unless you're working from your phone, then that's a little bit hard. But if you work exclusively from your phone and you don't want the distractions, then shut off all notifications, right? Delete the apps from your phone. You can always get them back and log back in, right? So don't be afraid of doing all that stuff, right? Clear your palette. Clear your palette, and that reduces the distractions. Procrastination is the harder topic to tackle. I'll do my best. I only have a few minutes. I have a 2 o'clock private client. Procrastination is hard because it goes to a much deeper level in your mindset as to why you procrastinate. So your homework is to clear all your distractions, break down. If you work for 4 hours, then break them down into 30-minute segments, right? If you work for 6 hours, like, just break them down evenly, visually, and write down what it is that you have to do. Set a timer. So your homework from now until Tuesday, hopefully you can join me on Tuesday for my live. Your homework from now until then is to clear all distractions, shut off notifications, take apps off your phone, flip your phone over, turn it on silent, whatever you need to do, right? Set a timer, take breaks. Your homework, in addition to that, if you find that you're procrastinating, that's a deeper level mindset stuff. That could be multiple layered, right, as to why you're procrastinating. Write down what it is that you're procrastinating, right? Yeah, all you can do is try, right? Write down what it is, what task are you delaying doing? Because that's what procrastination is, right? So write down what task, thanks for the fire, author. Write down what task it is that you are delaying, avoiding, putting off till later, however you want to label it, right? You are delaying doing that task. That's procrastination. Write down what that is. Write down what your thoughts are. Thanks for the pizza. Is that pepperoni? I love pepperoni pizza. Thank you. So write down the task, right? Label it. I just got my tattoo worked on Tuesday. These colors look like, oh my God, they look awesome online. All right, so sorry. So get a book, get a Google Doc, get something, right? Google Doc's actually a better one because you can access that from your computer, you can access that from your phone, so you can always be adding to it, right? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm adding all the background to my sleeve, and it's going to be the 7 colors of the chakra, which is basically like a rainbow, which I didn't realize that until I was doing it. But yeah, it's going to look freaking awesome. Should be done the end of this month. So write down the task that it is that you have to do, right? Write down your thoughts, everything that's going through your brain. Write them all down for that one task, right? um, and keep that and figure out, is it limiting beliefs as to what is, so do you not believe that you can achieve the success you want to achieve by completing that task? Oh, thanks, Annette. Um, and is that leading to procrastination, right? Putting off doing what it is that you want to do. Um, is it because you've tried it before and you failed and you don't want to fail again, right? So take a look at how you did it last time and didn't achieve the result you thought you were going to achieve, right? Do it differently this time. So write down the task that you want to achieve, write down all the reasons why you're putting it off. All right. So um, every single time you find yourself procrastinating, do that, because that's going to give you insight as to what's working behind the scenes in your brain that you may not be consciously aware of, because it's working behind the scenes, right? It's like your, the background computer going beep beep boop 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 beep beep beep, like talking computer language, right? That's what your brain is doing. Did you ever see the movie? What's the name of it? It's with all the emotions. I can't think of it. It's one of my favorite Disney Pixar. I'm not really sure who did it, but if you saw it, what's it called? It's such a good movie. I'm not gonna think of it because I'm trying too hard. But in your brain, you can picture that you have these tiny little people talking to each other, right? So you're sitting down to your computer, you have something that you need to do, and these little people, all these little emotions in your body are going, all right, alert, alert. He's sitting down, he's doing it, he's going for it. I don't know, it didn't work for him last time. So all of this stuff's going on in your brain. Those are all the limiting beliefs, right? That's all happening at the same time. The more you become aware of all those little people running around with all those different emotions, that's when you can overcome it. So you're acknowledging what's going on. You're acknowledging what's keeping you procrastinating, what's keeping you delaying, what's keeping you putting it off till tomorrow, right? It's all procrastination. You can build some insight, right? You can build on that. You can build on your skills to be like, all right, well, you know what? Take, for instance, you're a content creator like me, right? I need to create content. I need to get myself out there. I need to build an audience. I need people to get a feel for who I am, right? All around, like my fun side, my quirky side, my mom side, my professional side, like all that stuff, right? That is all fundamentally me. That's all fundamentally Colleen, right? I need to show up as Colleen no matter where I show up, right? I hone in on my different strengths, but I need to show up as me, because then I'm authentic every single time. So building that insight is what's helpful. And my last point before I go, because I'm 2 minutes overdue for my 2 o'clock, my 2 o'clock client. So um, acknowledging what it is, why you're avoiding it, so why you're procrastinating, why you're delaying, all that stuff, right? So why you're procrastinating. Take, for instance, if I create a piece of content, I'm super excited about it, right? Maybe it's written form. I throw it up there in my profile. I throw it in group. I throw it on an email. Like I throw it in different places, right? And 2 people give comments with a thumbs up, right? It's engagement, right? But not super exciting. Am I going to never create another piece of content again because I only got 2 thumbs up? No, hell no. Because I was super excited about the message I delivered. It just means that time it didn't get in front of the right people. You have no control over that outcome, right? Take that piece of content, hit it somewhere else 2 weeks later, right? It may hit very differently. You may have, thanks for the fire, Molly. It may hit very differently. People might pick up what you lay down, right? So show up how you want to show up. Show up as you. Build your brand. Let people know who you are. When I'll close with this. When I first started, so in my real life business, I'm a licensed independent therapist, right? So people come to me to work on their brain, work on their mindset, right? So there's a certain level of professionalism, yeah, right? That goes with that. And I don't buy into all of that stuff, right? So this was in 2006. I had some tattoos, but they were all like underneath my clothes. And I wanted to, um, this bracelet. I actually designed this bracelet and I wanted to get that. And I thought for probably 2.5 seconds, well, if I have tattoos, um, what are people going to think when they come to work with me? And as quick as that thought came in, that thought went right out of my head because I was like, if people are going to not work with me because I choose to have body art, they're not the people I want to work with, anyways. So, showing up as yourself, showing up confidently, showing up with a clear vision as to who you are, what you are, how you can help people, what it is that you have to add value to someone else, what it is you bring to the table. Show up with that every day. Don't try to do more. Don't try to do less. Show up and do your best. And that's what I will leave you with today. Went way longer than I thought it would go. So I love jamming out on mindset. I love it. It is so applicable to everything we do in life because keep in mind, everyone, mindset is our frame of mind, our attitude, and our disposition. That's what our mindset is. So I hope. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. Tachi, I'm not sure how the CH pronounces. I know my last name is Ducharme, so it's pronounced with like the SH. Um, Rory, I would love to hear how that strategy works for you. If you want to jump on live next time, if you want to send me a direct message, I would love to hear how that works for you. Definitely give it a try for many days. Okay, so it's CH like chair. Okay, Dr. Tachi, right? That's how I pronounced it the first time. So, um, oh, thanks, Arthur. You always pick up a few diamonds. Yay! That's exciting. Um, so what it is I'm delivering. Yay! All right, so I am going to get to my 2 o'clock client now that I'm almost 10 minutes late. Love hanging out with everyone. Thank you so much for everyone who stayed with me today. And anyone who chooses to try out that technique, I would love to hear how it hits for you. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I am actually going to be hanging out with my coach and his wife on Monday in Boston. Super freaking excited for that. You guys can definitely expect some super fun content coming from that. So yeah, so I will see everyone on Tuesday. Thank you, everyone who hung out with me today for the live. I really appreciate it. And again, if you are catching the replay here on Facebook, if you want to post your comments, post your questions, post them in the group. If you're catching this on directly from my profile, if you want to send me a follow, send me a friend request, send me a private message. Either way, if you want to just keep coming for the lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's awesome too. I will be back on Tuesday. I will not be back next Thursday. Not that you guys are all sitting on the edge of your seat waiting, but just thought I would mention that. So, yeah, so have a great rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world. Have a great Saturday if it's already Saturday there. Um, But thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. Hope it was valuable. And I hope you try that strategy. And um, I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.